Well, welcome back, everyone. The media continues to ignore the organized effort by Antifa to wreak havoc on America. Hundreds of radical protesters marched through New York City yesterday, carrying shields, dressed in black, and wearing masks to conceal their identity. They were chanting profanities, no surprise, declaring that they own the streets, no surprise, obstructing traffic and people, no surprise. It's no secret what Antifa is trying to accomplish here. They want to intimidate you, to scare you, all in an effort to achieve their wild political ends. Well, several journalists covering the Antifa protests were confronted by the militant radicals. One of those journalists, Szczepanski, refused to turn off her camera and kept rolling. You can see her there being just accosted with the umbrella and all. Antifa thugs started attacking and screaming at her because she's a Trump supporter, even throwing eggs and hitting her with an umbrella and skateboard. Tara quickly found police nearby, and this happened.
Y'all, I'm gonna stay here behind y'all because they just egged me. They just egged me.
6 feet. Social distance.
All right, social distancing. Because they egged me, punched me in the head.
Well, the truth is, I blame the mayor for this, for forcing the police to stand down and all the craziness. They don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. That journalist joins me now, Tara Szczepanski. Tara, welcome to the program.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Tara, I was troubled. There was a point there where you were even, it looked like they were even being worse, and you were near motorcycle cops, and it didn't seem like they came to your rescue at all.
No, they were located across the street. So when I had seen them, because I fled from the mob, and I saw that they were actually close by, and they didn't come to help me, though I was being attacked there. And when I ran to them for help, they told me to stay 6 feet away, and I was begging for help. And then I even stood in between them, and the mob chased after me. It was a crowd of about 20 or 30 people.
I can only imagine what that must be like. And you took a unique road here, because you used to be a Democrat. Now you're not anymore, a Trump supporter, and you document these shenanigans on the streets that often turn violent, like it happened to you.
Correct. I started my channel, the Polish American Brotherhood, and started with first history of Polish Americans. And then I pivoted to history in the making when I became a Trump supporter. So I went from being a Trump hater to becoming a Trump supporter, and then using my platform to be covering what's going on, because I saw such a discrepancy between what was being covered in mainstream media versus what I was witnessing by attending these rallies and events, that I had to use what voice I had to bring the truth out there.
What do you think they're trying to accomplish by hitting you over the head with a skateboard, Tara?
I don't think there's anything to be accomplished other than to use terror, and this is domestic terrorism. So they're using these tactics, suppressing the voices of journalists, and I was not the only journalist that was there. But as soon as they found out who I was and identified me through my channel, that's when they started screaming profanities at me and assaulted me then for the second time. The first time was because I refused to turn off my camera, and then the second time is when they found out I was a Trump supporter. So this is a means of intimidation and terrorizing us to basically shut our voices, and I won't.
Terry, you know, one of my specialties is personal defense, and I don't want you to back down ever. But I do want you to be careful. You stood your ground in a way that was very brave and very courageous. But I'm very fearful you're going to come across somebody who doesn't have a skateboard, they're going to have a gun or a knife. What do you do to make sure you're keeping yourself safe? And I wish you'd just keep a little more distance from a personal protection standpoint.
I was dressed to conceal myself. The Antifa dresses in black bloc, so I did wear a mask that covered my face, and I wore a head hat, and I was dressed completely in black, and I was blending in. It was only at the point that I refused to turn off my cameras when they came and attacked me. But that's their means of suppressing journalists and voices. So in terms of self-defense, I mean, it's so unfortunate that here in America that journalism is becoming as dangerous as it is. This is stuff that you think of that happens in a third world country or or in a war zone. And that's what we're entering. We're entering in a war zone. And I'm still going to continue to put myself out there with recording and bringing that footage to people, because people need to see what's going on, what's the truth. And it's not what's being reported on mainstream media.
They do, Tara, and I'll tell you, it's the only way we're getting this story right now because you know, as you just said, the mainstream media is not reporting this. So please keep us posted about your travels. More importantly, keep yourself safe, but thank you for what you're doing, Tara.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Tara Szczepanski. Still ahead on Stinchfield. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is having a